I'm Jeff Schwartz of Schwartz Performance. We're here for our monthly shop update. We've made a lot of progress on this 52 Ford pickup chassis. We're currently mocking up the suspension. We've got the ride height all figured out, and we're in the process of getting the running board mounts situated. This is the LS7 powered S10 truck that we talked about last month. We've got the LS7 in there for mock-up purposes. We've got the ride height set. We've got our sway bars in. We're just situating the sway bars. In the back here, we've mounted our sway bar tube through the chassis like we typically do, and then we've got our sway bar arm, which will mount to the rear end with the Heim joint. The rails have been moved up for suspension travel. This thing's going to be laying on the ground, but still have plenty of suspension travel and a nice smooth ride. As with all the Schwartz chassis, we have a full floating rear end here. This one has the hub on and the wheel bearings. As you can see, it's got tapered roller bearings here that rotate around the outside of the housing. And then the floating axle will be in here with the drive plate. But all our chassis have this setup. This is our most popular LS7 package. It makes 675 horsepower on pump gas, and it's very streetable and drivable. This one is getting nitrous in addition. And we've got our billet serpentine drive on here as well. This one's black anodized, and then it's got the edges machined off for a kind of an elegant look. The 52 Ford pickup, we've extended the cab to get more room in the passenger compartment. So we also had to extend the doors. So these doors have been stretched about 6 inches, and we're currently doing the metal finishing on it and fitting the windows. You may have seen this 67 Corvette on previous updates. This one has our new Corvette chassis in it, which features Corvette suspension along with the LS7 engine. We're in the stages of basically building it and mocking everything up, and then once that's done, it gets blown apart for painting and then reassembly. This 41 Willys was a Riddler Grade 8 car a few years ago, and it's getting a new transmission and the wiring is getting redone. This is our 3rd gen Camaro project. It's an 89 Camaro RS. We really like the 3rd gen cars because they really handle well out of the box, and all they're missing is horsepower, which is real easy to fix. Plus the price is pretty good. This 89 Camaro's got a small block, and you may have seen us put the Demon carburetor on there and the hooker headers on a previous episode, but we're just about ready to fire it up. We've installed a Be Cool radiator, and we fabricated an aluminum upper radiator mount. It's got the dual fans. We're hoping to fire this up this weekend, and we've got coilover struts here. These came from QA1. We've got the Weld racing wheels and the Bear brakes. My daughter Justina is going to autocross this car next year, so I'm expecting big things from her. The hood we used on this 3rd gen is a higher rise than the stock hood. It follows the original body line, which runs diagonally across the hood, but it gives more clearance for carburetor or air cleaner or fuel injection, whatever you may have. This hood came from Hawk's 3rd gen, and it's called the Sunoco hood. It's a really great product and really enhances the body line of these cars. We've mini-tubbed this 3rd gen car, which is kind of rare amongst these cars, and we've widened the inner fenders a good 1.5 inches, and then we have a suspension kit that we've relocated the lower control arm that gives clearance for the wider tires. In this case, we've got 315 BFG rivals on here, but a 335 in a normal tire would probably fit. The rivals run a little bit larger than what their tire size indicates, so in this case we were only able to fit a 315. The battery's been relocated to the trunk for better weight distribution. In this case we're using Optima Yellow Top. We use Optima batteries on all of our projects. The carpet is in the process of being fitted right now, and then we've got to do a little light paintwork on the wheel tubs so they don't rust, and then we'll get the carpet all fitted in there and modify the rear panels to fit the wheel tubs. The rear spoiler on this 3rd gen is also a Hawks 3rd gen part, and it's slightly taller, about double the height of the original IROC type spoiler. We like the look of the original spoiler, but this gives it just a little more aggressiveness to it, and it matches the hood really well. This is that 70 Chevelle convertible we looked at last month that had the quarter panel that was overlapped on top of the original quarter panel. We've now replaced that and are actually installing it at the factory seam location. Both quarter panels on this car were installed incorrectly, so we've installed the passenger side as well. This is the 70 CUDA that we're doing the right-hand drive conversion. Jim's just finishing up the mini tubs that he did on this car. Since this car is getting converted to right-hand drive, we've removed the entire firewall, and that'll get reconfigured with the brake pedal, clutch pedal, and steering wheel on the right-hand side. This was the inner front clip from the 70 CUDA that we've removed. This was a real rust-free Arizona car, so if anybody needs a nice rust-free part, we've got it here for you. We're at the body shop here. This is the 71 Cutlass we built a number of years ago, and the owner had a little oops at Road America, so we're all back in good order and doing the final jam work, and then it's getting repainted. This is the 75 Trans Am project you saw several months ago. It was a fully restored silver car. This one's getting painted Admiralty Blue, the original 1975 metallic blue color. It's kind of a dark color. We used the Year One Bandit flares that are flush mounted. There's no body welting required between these flares. This body's already been mini tubbed, and we have our chassis fitted to it as well. On the front, we've also used the Year One Bandit Trans Am front fender flare. It required a little rework to make it fit the 75 body style. We're using a fiberglass front bumper from Texas Trans Ams. These original 75 Trans Am bumpers weighed about 200 pounds. This one here's fiberglass, weighs about maybe 15. And we're going to build a steel structure behind it to mount it so it sits in the stock location.